All right, you guys. One last thing before we go. Here we are. A couple of years ago, I don't remember what it was in regards to Kanye, but it was enough for me to do a whole entire episode and say goodbye. And ever since then, I said goodbye to Kanye. I don't check for him. I already don't wear his outfits like everybody else does. I don't buy his shoes. I don't got a Yeezy in my closet. One of the reasons why I stopped checking for Kanye is because he didn't take his mental health seriously enough. He, anytime it's album time, he'll go off his meds to make an album that's probably subpar, depending on who you talk to. And that affected the household, that affected the family, that affected the marriage. If there was a time for you to really feel sorry for Kim Kardashian, that might have been the time. I haven't listened to his documentary. I didn't listen to Drink Champs. I didn't listen to none of that. I didn't listen to his last album. I forgot what it's called. Donda. I didn't listen to that. That's how much I don't check for Kanye. Now, why are we here now in regards to Will and Jada? After today, I'm gonna get all my thoughts out about the Oscars. I'm gonna get all my thoughts out about Will and Jada. After that, I will never voluntarily check for these two again because I'm going to say it. Will and Jada are cancers to the black community. They will not move us forward. Now, we all thought, hell, I thought they were the ideal couple. Well, granted, that's what they sold to us. They stayed out of the headlines. They minded their own business. They seem to be at peace when they're in public. And it's like that's the perfect marriage. I said that. Now start to see cracks in the armor. They got exposed for who they really are. Now, is that enough for me to say to stop checking for them at that time? No. It was a little disappointing. It's about as equivalent to finding out that Santa Claus is not real. But it's like it is what it is. Just keep it moving. Then, when did it Entanglement happen? Maybe a year ago or something like that. One of Jada's side pieces couldn't keep his mouth shut, and everything just came out. And then you see what type of husband Will is, and what type of wife Jada is, and it's like this is not how you're supposed to conduct yourself in a marriage. And if this is the case, why get married?
Right.
So, and just little by little, you start to see how disrespected Will is being dealt by his own wife. Like the whole Tupac's birthday. So she may have another poem ready. I get Jada and Tupac's relationship back in the day, but we just saw that as just close friends. Now we see from what it really is, and we see that Will is allowing this. With all that, you got all these penises inside of your wife, and you're cool with it for the most part. Let's fast forward to Sunday. Actually, prior to Sunday, you was at the I believe it was the SAG Awards where he won Best Actor there. Him and his wife was asked a question by a reporter about that entanglement or made a joke about it. If Will didn't want to check him, his wife should have. That didn't get addressed.
True.
If
I totally agree with that.
And
I noticed that too. But one thing I wanted to ask though was like, does anybody else know I don't even want to say the severity, but like, did anybody else know? Like, does anybody know the depth behind the G.I. Jane joke that was said?
Here's the thing. Oh well, hey, I'm about to get to that. Give me 1 second. I swear I'm gonna get to that joke. In the Oscars before that joke even happened, I believe there was two shots thrown their way. One by Regina Hall, and maybe one to say so. Amy Schumer said something. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't watch the Oscars. I'm aware of Regina's joke, although I didn't hear it.
What's her name? Damn, I forgot the girl name with the blonde hair, the blonde short haircut.
Amy Schumer.
No, it's Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah, somebody said Amy Schumer or whatever.
Tiffany
Haddish.
He pounded Tiffany Haddish, but that was after the fact where everything happened.
Oh no! I'm talking about before the fact. Regina Hall, maybe Wanda Sykes, Amy Schumer also made a joke or whatever the case may be. And Jada didn't do absolutely nothing. It's like, right. Okay, cool. They just being professional. They're at the award show. Stan, what's up? I see you on IG.
What did they say?
Something in regards to Will and the entanglement or something like that. Just some jokes that they heard
They
all.
said something about Will being like he was like in the lineup for like the sexiest man in Hollywood or something like that, and it was like that Jada approved so he could come up on the stage. That was what Regina Hall had said.
Like they've been in the butt of a joke for the last year and a half or 2 years, and these are jokes that they normally heard. Now let's get to the Chris Rock joke, the G.I. Jane joke. Number one, that was extremely light. That was severe.
You said light.
Light, L-I-G-H-T or L-I-T-E. That was an extremely light joke. Number one, I don't approve of her as a wife. Jada's still fine. Alopecia and all, she's still fine. She looks better than most women with hair.
And she only got 2 bald spots. Like, it's not even bald. It's like shit that men go through. So, no, yes, it is. Because I have alopecia on both sides of my head.
No, I said she like she doesn't have bald spots.
Yeah, she shaved it just to get. I don't know why she shaved it. Because the rest of her hair wasn't falling out or nothing like that.
Right.
It was just little small spots in the front. But she said she was happy with it and she didn't care what nobody
We'll get to that. We'll get to that because I was severely pissed off about that one on Monday. But with the G.I. Jane joke, yes, G.I. Jane has short hair. That's number one, which is fine. And I never watched the G.I. Jane movie, but I'm fully aware that's a strong woman of her time when that movie came out. So if anything, that should be a compliment. But
that's like, so the depth in that, I don't mean to cut you off, but the depth behind that wasn't about just her being bald-headed. The star of the show, the star of the movie, who was Demi Moore. Demi Moore got exposed for having the entanglement or having a situation where she cheated on her husband with Ashton Kutcher.
Right, and that's
around the same time that movie came out.
So that was like the hair. That has nothing to do with her hair.
Right.
But I'm not making it about her hair. I'm talking about the joke that was said.
Hey, Kia. Hey, hold on, real quick.
To the basis that everybody, it would seem like it was about the hair, but that was another entanglement joke.
Yeah, that was a double. Hell, that was a double on. If this was rap, that's a double entendre, and that was
nobody never knew if you bought that shit out to 5,000 or Good Morning America tomorrow morning, then that'll be something that they'll talk about for the next 3 days.
No, see, here's real quick, Kia. Okay, real quick. The thing is, on face value, it's the alopecia, it's the hair joke. Deep down is the Demi Moore. When Demi was Bruce Willis had an affair with Ashton Kutcher. That was just
she did G.I. Jane. It was a form of endearment. She wasn't even going bald in that movie.
No, right. No, you're absolutely right.
He's not talking about the hair itself. He's not talking about the hair itself.
No, Kia. What we're saying is that's just a double entendre. So that's a joke within a joke. But when I first heard about it, I'm thinking about, well, number one, that joke would have went over my head personally. But with a little update, I'm thinking, okay, that's just the hair joke. Now, Will Smith laughed about it. Jada wasn't feeling that joke. And right. And that led to Will going on the stage and slapping him and saying, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth twice. Here's the thing about all of that. Chris Rock is licensed to make that joke. He's a comedian. And although Will Smith is not a comedian, he knows the rules and regulation of being in a row in front of a comic. He had plenty of them on his own show. So he should have known that already. Now, for you to past that, let's get to Jada. Now, allegedly, Jada gave that silent approval for Will to go jump on stage. Now, as a wife, that's not protecting your husband.
It's not.
My wife already said, had that been us, she would have made sure. She probably would have grabbed my arm and told me to sit down. No, we're not doing that.
Exactly.
Now, let's get to Will. Oddly enough, I don't have a problem with Will's actions. Here's the issue. You could have done that behind backstage. You could have rolled up on him backstage. You could even slapped him backstage. You could have did all of that. I don't mind you saying keep my wife's name out your mouth while you're in the audience. I don't have a problem with that. But that slap should have been done behind the scenes. Granted, Will probably would have got stumped out because Chris does not roll alone. But he did it on national television for everybody to see. That is a meltdown. And let me tell y'all this. I've been saying this all week. I know what bottled up emotion looks like. I especially know what it looks like when you unleash on the wrong person. Will Smith needs to go get therapy. And it's not because of his childhood issues. It's really based off of what's been going on in his life for the past 2 years. So Will Smith needs to go get therapy in regards to that. Now, I don't respect Will Smith anymore. He did not defend his wife. He did not protect his wife. Did he stand up for her? Yes, he did. But Jada was not in harm's way. Matter of fact, Jada doesn't have a terminal disease.
Can I interrupt you and ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Did you really respect him before he did that?
No. I lost respect for Will when I found out about the August Alsina thing.
Yeah, I did too. Because you were allowed to a little boy to come into your house, but at the same time, the little boy was taken advantage of by a grown ass woman.
But I thought they was separated. That's what she said.
No.
None of that was going on.
They were no. They
They
were.
in the same house, but they were on separate sides of the house. Like, that's literally what they said.
So
They said it's life partners.
Well, Lisa, here's the thing though. Yes, they were separated. Let's shoot them that bell. But nevertheless, that's your fucking house. You let another man come in your house and knock down what used to be yours, which is yours now.
That's the ultimate disrespect.
I will not respect Will Smith again. Behind that, it's going to be hard for me to respect him. Now I understand where women. Now I understand. Go ahead, Kim.
I said even if they had an open relationship and they had an understanding.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It kind of do matter though.
How? Let Shay talk.
If they in an open relationship and they both living on separate sides of the house, she have a right to continue on to live her life.
Who pays for the house?
Hold on.
He could have made her leave the house if it was just his house. But if it's our house and we come to this decision, who is somebody else to lose respect for us because of the decisions that we made for each other?
Easy.
Let me hold on. Let me answer that. If that was just a typical open relationship situation, he would not have been sitting on that red table talk show crying and shit. You understand what I'm saying? It would not have been an issue. But whatever rules they have, she broke the rules. And that's why there was an issue. So we have to be clear about that. Even looking from the outside in, it wouldn't have been an issue unless the rules were broken. And she broke them. And she, took advantage of it.
But what if she broke
Let's see. Hold on. You guys haven't been in an open relationship, so you don't know about shit like, hey, this is how we're going to do it. You know what I'm saying? I have. There's always rules.
Yours might be different.
You see what I'm saying?
Everybody's
Hold on. Use your head. It wouldn't have been an issue if the rules weren't broken between those two. Is what I'm saying. Those two had an issue.
But he probably
Hey, ladies, you gotta let them talk.
All I hear is women making excuses, and this is what really gets me, is that a lot of women will just continue to back a woman no matter how wrong she is. They'll make excuses and they'll back her, just go down with the ship, go down with the Titanic. But I understand why Chris, lost respect. Because I have a lot of respect for him because any of these rappers that came out the hood, even though Will's not like a hood dude like that, he still lived in the hood. And any of these guys who come up and make it, I've got a lot of respect for. But I lost like a ton of respect because he reacted as a bully. It wasn't just that he didn't control his emotions. We all run into it in our life. He's going through a lot and he snapped, right? But he chose to be a bully against Chris Rock. When I'm just like, well, wait a minute. You're not a man. I'm not going to go through the whole explanation of it. But he became a bully against Chris Rock. It's like, why didn't you go slap the dude, who had you crying on TV because he banged your wife and then told everybody about it? Why'd you go slap 50 Cent for creating photoshops of himself with Jada Pinkett? So you ain't going to go check nobody who can handle themselves. So that's why I lose my respect with him. Say he apologized after the fact, but I don't know. That's between him and Chris as whether Chris wants to accept that.
See, ladies, ladies, here's the thing. That's your house. That's a man's house at the end of the day. You do not allow another man to come to your house and disrespect it. That's believe it or not, although Jada lives there because they're married, that's ultimately not her house. That's not her castle. She's not in charge of that castle. At best, she's a B-list actor. At best. She don't dictate anything that goes in that house, but she walking around as if no one can tell her what to do. She said that on Red Table Talk with Will sitting across from her. Will Smith is not the man of his own house. That's Jada. I cannot, and this is not a sexist thing. This is man playing his role in a relationship, in a household. You let another man come in your house and disrespect you like that.
See, so Will Smith is a bitch then, pretty much.
If the shoe fits. And it fits him very well, unfortunately.
It does.
Was he there, Chris?
Excuse me?
Was he there when the guy was there?
Yes.
And they was face to face.
You said were they face to face?
Yeah, or was he on his side of the house and they was on the other side of the house?
And Shay, let's assume they never saw each other while on the premise. The fact that another man was in your house.
They did though.
I'm sorry.
Hold on. Let me say this real quick. This is why that doesn't matter. August is his son's friend. So if he see him at the house, he think he there for his son. How the hell am I supposed to know my son's friend is doing my wife? Make it make sense. Come on now.
So August him permission. I don't know how real this shit is, but hearing in interviews, Will gave him permission to be with his wife.
Like I said, I cannot respect Will for that. He, as a man, now he has the prerogative. It's his prerogative how he wants to run his marriage. You want to be monogamous, you want to be open, you want to do polygamy. That's well in his right, but that doesn't mean I have to respect it, and that doesn't mean that's the model of what a black man is supposed to be. What the hell do we look like putting Will Smith as the epitome of what a black man is? I've been hearing that all week, unfortunately, mostly from women, about that's Will Smith is a real man. That's how you protect your wife. That's how you defend your wife. Jada was not in harm's way. You made yourself look bad. You embarrassed the black community. You embarrassed black men. And let's go there. Truth be told, if our job is to provide stability, provision, protection, how the hell did you protect your wife? Because what if Chris Rock wanted to retaliate? And you're not that hard to find, by the way. You just open the door for your wife to get her head taken off, for your kids' heads to be taken off, for you to be shot in your own bed. Will Smith did not protect his family. Will Smith did not protect his wife. He opened the door for them to actually get shot and killed if he smacked the right one. Will Smith failed as a husband because one of the job descriptions is stability, provision, protection. And in regards to protecting your family, you have to be on the defensive side. You have to assert threats of violence, and you have to avoid it by any means necessary. He did not avoid it. He went right after it. Had that been anybody else, Will Smith would have been in jail. He would have been sued. And now who's protecting Jada and the rest of the family while you're locked up?
And that's the whole thing. You don't want a kid. She went to the after party and danced while he sat in jail. You know what I'm saying? That woman had zero respect for him. And I'm like, those kids are adults. You need to divorce that woman. But he's just so infatuated with her. Living in the shadow of a dead man. You gotta be kidding me. And let's be realistic. If Tupac was still alive, he would not be with Jada. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real.
That's a whole fact. Because Tupac wouldn't put up with this. We wouldn't respect Tupac. And what I was saying there is, and there's women that are saying this is what a man's supposed to look like. Ladies, I love y'all. You don't dictate how a black man is supposed to look like. You don't dictate how a black man is supposed to move. You don't control the narrative. We do. And we are saying Will Smith is when we say pandering simp, not a pandering, I'm sorry. When we say he's a simp, he's a simp. When we say he's less than a man, he's less than a man. And when we say we do not associate ourselves with the likes of Will Smith, we do not associate ourselves with the likes of Will Smith. And this is going to sound crazy coming from me, ladies. You have no choice but to fall in line with what we say.
Yeah, he a bitch. He a bitch. He proved himself to be a bitch.
So
coming up, he laughed at a joke. He like you said, put his whole family in danger. And not saying shut up or nothing like that, but getting blackballed from the whole industry and fucking up your money to take care of your family. And also at the same time, Jada should have stopped him when he was going up there. He laughed at the joke first. She had to give him a certain type of look. You gave him that certain type of look for him to get up on stage and do that? For all I know is Chris Rock is coming to Richmond soon. And I got his tickets and I'm going.
Well, that's good.
So, Chris Rock is something else though. Because I don't know Will did. But Chris Rock is talking about black people.
He said nothing about her being bald-headed. He ain't saying nothing about, he ain't saying, how he usually joke on people. He's a comedian.
Hold on, Kia. Let me talk to Lisa real quick. Lisa, we understand Chris Rock said some crazy things before in the past. But here's the thing. He's a comedian. And you think, well, Chris... It doesn't matter. No, Lisa. Here's the thing about comedy. Everybody's open. Everybody's free game. There's no off limit. There's nothing that's off limits, including black women. Matter of fact, okay, I'll do y'all a huge solid. Does anybody here know a comedian by the name of Andrew Schultz? Anybody? Does anybody know who Andrew Schultz is?
It sounds familiar.
He's normally aligned with Charlamagne the God on Brilliant Idiots.
Oh yeah! Oh my God!
Yeah. Do you really want to know? You guys are mad about what Chris Rock said. Do you want to know what Andrew Schultz said yesterday? Go listen to the first 3 minutes of Flagrant 2 and thank me later. What Chris Rock said was extremely light, and Will Smith had no right to go up there and slap him. Chris Rock is a better man than me because I would have dodged that slap and I would have jabbed him dropped him on his ass. Will Smith is only, ladies and gentlemen, Will Smith is only an inch taller than me. I'm much more heavier than him, and I'm a lot more skilled than him because he only got one skill, and that's boxing. Unfortunately, I'm skilled in other things, like taking someone's life if I really want to. I would have dropped Will Smith right on that fucking stage.
He ain't slapped August Alsina.
Why that's what we're all saying. You're okay with all these men sleeping with your wife, but you get offended by G.I. Jane Joe?
Wait, that's the other thing too. What all these men?
Outside of August, it's cool. I don't want to see. Although I'm gonna be done. Although I'm gonna be done with Will and Jada, I know one thing about Jada. I will not reveal that to the public unless it comes out. And I'm gonna leave it at that. Cause people in Hollywood better be happy. I'm a real nigga. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna put Jada on blast. I'm just a real nigga.
Listen, do you think that he didn't do anything wrong? Do you think that Will didn't do anything wrong?
Oh no, I don't condone that. I wish it never happened. I wish that never happened. I don't condone that at all. No.
What about you, Miss Cheryl?
Hi everyone. Thank you for allowing me to come on the stage and speak. Been listening into what you guys have been saying in quite a few other rooms. This is the first time I've made an opinion or I've thought about it, and I watched the clip back, and I really, you know, when people of colour in the limelight, it's amazing when people, people of colour have the opportunity to live an amazing life, opportunities to them and be a role model. I like Will, I like Chris, I think they're both amazing. But I was very disappointed. And Will did, when I watched that, Will did laugh. He found it funny until he got the vibration from his wife that it was unacceptable. And as a woman, for me, when you're married to a man or when you're in a relationship, you are able to calm your husband or your partner. If he's going, she should have protected him. I don't get any thrill, as, one of the brothers said, by all means necessary, you have to protect each other and help us be each other's keeper. Is helping each other not to make a mistake that's going to cost you. Now, as a woman, as she saw him going up, she should have touched his hand, stood up, brought him back to sit down, whispered in his ear, calmed the temperature. She had the power to do that. But she sat there, she watched him take that long walk. That was quite a lengthy walk. And then disrespect his brother. That was an absolute disrespect. I don't care. They could have had words after if he didn't like it, he could have had words. It's all about self-control. I know that sometimes in life, we can be out of control and we can do things that we shouldn't have done. Mercy and grace is given to us every day. But that was an absolute disrespect. And then come back to his seat. And then she was shouting from his seat. Now, Jada could have put her hand on his leg. She could have calmed that temperature, but she didn't. And I don't have respect for her for that. It was a shame that what took place. And I do think Chris really held it together because, if I'm honest with you, I don't know how many could have done that.
I couldn't.
Honesty. He did hold it together, and it just shows them out there that this is how black people, this is how we are. And we're not like that. And I do believe that Will is now remorseful. So that was just not his character. He moved on that on her vibration. Because as there's issues in their marriage, there's things that he's had to live up to. And I think it was all of that in one. That he made a mistake, a costly one as well. I think it's going to cost them, unfortunately. But I was very disappointed to see that or witness it. Yeah.
Yeah, we all were, unfortunately.
Can I say one thing? Brock was very professional. I was shocked because he was like,
I'm surprised the best side didn't come out of him.
Right. But how we don't know if Jada didn't do nothing. She probably did stuff, and Will might, put his on like, let me go, and kept them.
Why do you think that these excuses? We know she didn't do nothing because that man moved.
I'm not making excuses. I'm just being, see the other side of it.
Although more things are coming now, that part would have been came out. Jada tried to prevent it. Is one step that would have been came out.
Okay.
The only thing I'm hearing now is the Oscars asked him to leave. He refused, and the Oscars are looking to expulsion, suspension, and him taking away his awards.
Oh no.
Yeah, and that's how it should be. Like Chris Rock. He went to Boston, my hometown, and
standing ovation.
Yeah, standing ovation. As soon as that happened, people started buying his tickets, and he's like, I'm still trying to process it. He's like, because he doesn't understand what the hell. Because obviously he know Will, so he's like, damn, what happened with my boy? You know what I'm saying? So he didn't go into it, but he did say he's still trying to process the whole thing. And that's the other danger, because what if he processes everything and say, you know what, fuck that, I'm filing charges, I'm suing this guy. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but when I saw Will crying, I'm like, he's going through something. He is going through something. Like, he just tired of people talking shit about him. He just took it out on the wrong person. Yeah, he did. He should never did that. I wish he never did that. I wish he could have got therapy before. But that man's going through a lot.
He is.
Wait a minute, but don't you miss the days when musicians used to get upset and actually make a song about it?
Yep. Because he can still rap. He can still rap.
Yeah, no doubt. And that's another reason why I had a lot of respect. He's one of them OG rappers like LL and those people. They can still rap. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, go make a song about it, but don't sit here and be he just put himself in jeopardy. And like you said, Christopher, he put his family in jeopardy when he did that.
Man, and let me tell y'all my timeline with this, because like I said, I'm trying to get all this out because I'm not talking about this anymore. I didn't know about the slap when it happened. I was giving my son a bath. We was doing our own thing, and when I popped my head out, that's when they announced that he won for Best Actor. And I was like, him crying and stumbling upon his words, and I'm looking like Will Smith knows how to freestyle and talk. I'm like, what the hell is going on? This has got to be the worst acceptance speech I have ever heard. And they say, I apologize to the Academy. And I'm like, apologize for crying? Winning the award? What the fuck's going on? Later, I found out about the slap and put everything together. And it's like, this has to be the lowest moment of his fucking life. It can't get no better than this. It can't get no lower than this. But I did say this a couple of days ago. Big Bag kind of disagreed with me. I'm going to stand on it just slightly. I give it 5 years, 10 tops, and I'm looking at the camera when I say this. Allegedly, Will Smith is going to get therapy for his childhood. If Will Smith don't get therapy for what's been going on in his life in the past 5 years, he's going to kill himself. He will off himself. 5 years, 10 tops, he's going to kill himself. Yes, I said it. Yes, I said it, and I stand by that.
No, don't say that.
No, I'm sorry, ladies. Will Smith will commit suicide. He's going to ask his family to leave the house like nothing's going on, or he's going to drive off somewhere and he's going to off himself. How he does it will yet to be seen, known, whatever. He's going to kill himself in the next 5 or 10 years behind this if he doesn't go get therapy, and I mean that.
Wow.
Not the most popular thing to say. I get it and I understand. But I stand by that. Will Smith will kill himself in the next 5 or 10 years. He needs to get therapy in regards to what happened in the last 5 years. You don't have to tell anybody. You don't have to tell everybody. You just need to go get that therapy. Talk about what's been going on in your personal life. Talk about what's been going on in your marriage and how it affected you. Do not hold nothing back. Let it all out. If he doesn't do that, go ahead.
He did rob a lot of people that night. Samuel Jackson won his first Oscar. Nobody even talked about it.
Really?
I just found out. Samuel Jackson won his first Oscar. He's 73 years old. Nobody even knew. Right. You got the Williams sisters. Like he pushed the narrative to the point to where it wasn't even about the awards no more. That was a good night for black people, and he fucked it up. And it's sad.
I didn't know that.
Him of all people fucked it up. Him of all people. Now you see why after tonight I will not check for Will and Jada. That's not how you conduct yourself. Yes, people are making fun of the entanglement. And guess what? You could afford another night for that to happen. You can afford a couple of months for that to happen because you brought it upon yourself. This is why when we talk about marriage, you keep people out of your freaking private life. You keep people out of your marriage because of stuff like this. Your wife's side chick couldn't keep his mouth shut. Now look at you.
But you know, it's worse when you listen to Jada talk about how bad he is in bed, and you know, and just telling the world that he's
What
she said that a few months. She said that during a few months after the entanglement, after Red Table Talk. She did say that.
She literally said that he was bad in bed.
Yeah, this is what I'm telling. See, ladies.
She said that she made fun. She pretty much made fun of him for crying the first time they had sex. He cried and professed his love, and she made light of that and made fun of him about that, like he was weak.
She said
I want to say zero. She has negative respect for this man.
She said all that?
Yes, she did. And this is why I do not respect Will Smith. How can I? Why is this lady still your wife? Like I said, you have the prerogative to dictate how your marriage is constructed, but at the same time, you better make sure shit like that does not leave the house.
What did she say that on Table Talk?
Red Table Talk. I believe Gwyneth Paltrow was the special guest.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
This is so. Let's go ahead. Yeah. Because who else is going to put up with this? Look. So let me get into this. I'll keep the room open, but I'm about to end this stream. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not checking for Will and Jada after today.
Okay,
I can't.
I'm not either. I swear I'm not.
Like there's no way for me to go out of my way and put them on. Now, I guess I hold myself responsible for putting them on the pedestal as the ideal married couple. Not only the ideal married black couple, just the ideal married couple, period. And we see why that's a bad idea.
You beat both of them down this evening.
Yeah.
Put shit on the damn pedestal.
Yeah, that would never happen again. That would never happen again. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the show. This is where we say goodbye to Will and Jada. They are not the ideal married couple. They're not the ideal. They're not a good representation of the black community in any type of way, shape, or form. Will Smith is going through his own mental issues. We saw this 53-year-old man had a mental breakdown or emotional breakdown on Sunday. He does need to go get therapy. Like I said, I know what bottled up emotions look like, and I know what it looks like when you only shit on the wrong person. Will Smith better go get help for what's been going on in his life in the last 5 years. If not, probably in the next few years, actually in the next 5 or 10 years, he will commit suicide. Yes, I said it. Will Smith will be committing suicide if he does not go get help. And I don't want that to happen. I want to be dead wrong. But unfortunately, when I make stuff like this, I'm usually not. Please, God, let me be wrong in this one. But I don't see any hope for Will Smith. I really don't. So to Will and Jada, we must say goodbye until you guys get your act together. we will disassociate you from the black community.